Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and I have a very dramatic game for you. With the white piece is playing Rameshbabu Praggnanandhaa and his opponent is Wesley. So this game was played at 2018 Leon Masters. The young Indian prodigy had white pieces and he started with e4, c5 by Wesley, knight f3, d6 and bishop b5 check. Praggnanandhaa goes for Moscow variation. Now black has several options: knight c6, bishop d7 or knight d7. In the game we see knight d7, which is black's most aggressive move. Although black is voluntarily closing his own light squared bishop on c8, yet this is a very ambitious defense. Black doesn't want to trade the bishops in order to keep the game more complex and possibly aim for a two-bishop advantage for some possible long-term benefits. a4 was played. Praggnanandhaa is advancing on the queen side, at some point preventing any a6 b5 advancement by black. Knight f6, knight c3, g6, a5. White pawn is also taking under control the b6 square, is not allowing black to breathe, but this move also has its downsides. At some point this can be targeted by black pieces: a6, bishop c4 and bishop g7, which turns out to be a total blunder. Actually, this allows Praggnanandhaa to finish up his opponent just in the opening. If you wish, you can pause the video and try to find the winning line for white. Ready? Praggnanandhaa actually played d3. He didn't see this crushing bishop takes f7 move. The thing is that after king takes f7, white can play knight g5 check. If king g8, then knight e6. The pawn on a5 is demoralizing black queen, and if queen e8, simply knight c7, white is winning black rook and actually the game is over. That's why after bishop c4, instead of playing bishop g7, it was better first to act against that bishop takes f7 threat, but in the game we see bishop g7 and d3 by Praggnanandhaa. Unfortunately, he missed his chance and we see castling by both sides. Knight b8, Wesley is going to bring his knight on a more active square. e5, knight e8, knight d5, knight c6, knight b6. The knight came on a very aggressive square, but actually after rook b8, already black is threatening knight takes a5 followed by queen takes b6. That's why Praggnanandhaa captured on c8. Rook takes c8, e6, f6, queen e white. White is actually playing very aggressively. Look at this pawn on e6 square, but actually still Wesley's position is very solid. With his last move, Praggnanandhaa protected the pawn on a5, d5, bishop b3, queen d6. Meanwhile, black is consolidating his position. Rook a4, knight c7, bishop f4, a nice square for the bishop. With this beautiful rook maneuver, the rook came and supported the dark squared bishop. Knight e5. Of course, you can't capture on e6 because after the exchange of queens, white has this bishop takes d5 move. That's why after bishop f4, Wesley played knight e5. We see bishop takes e5, f takes e5, c4, e4, d takes e4 and d4. Black managed to get a passed pawn on d4 square. e5, queen c6, rook a3. Praggnanandhaa is freeing the a4 square for the bishop, but now Wesley is winning the pawn on e6. Bishop a4, queen c7, rook b3, knight d8, queen e4. Praggnanandhaa is also allowing black to win the pawn on a5 square and bishop d7. Rook b8, now comes queen d5 check. Now Praggnanandhaa will try to exploit the weaknesses of light squares. King h8, now comes the knight, knight g5. Actually, this attack looks very scary, but it turns out that black is managing to defend successfully. Here comes queen c7. This time black is targeting the pawn on e5, f4, b5. Wesley is advancing on the queen side, trying to grab more space and to push forward his pawns. Rook h3, already there is a mating threat. h6 was played, knight e6. We see the exchange of knights on e6 square, rook b6 and rook g3, which is a total blunder. Here Wesley simply played rook d8 and Praggnanandhaa resigned because after, for example, queen f3, he's losing his bishop on e6 square. A very dramatic game, I think. Though Praggnanandhaa was playing a very active chess, was demonstrating his aggressive intentions, but it's a pity that he didn't find that bishop takes f7 move in the opening. That could have simply shocked Wesley though and could motivate Praggnanandhaa a lot. Thanks for watching. Here are more suggestions for you, and for more games don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the next video.